everyone, and welcome. Hold on, let me stop my share. Welcome to the 2024 Holidays with Hemingway virtual party. I'm Suzanne Del Gizzo. I am head of the media committee and also editor of the Hemingway Review. And I'm so pleased that you're here to watch the pre-recorded parts of this year's party. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Society President Carl Eby.
Hey, thanks so much, Suzanne, and thanks everybody for being there. Welcome, welcome, and happy holidays. We've got a lot of fun planned this evening. We've got music, both holiday themed and Hemingway themed. We've got a holiday tour of the Piggott House in Arkansas, thanks to Adam Long. A bit of Hemingway holiday cooking. And of course, always we've got our signature holiday cocktail and toast. So buckle up, get ready, hop on the sled. It's going to be fun. And before we get started with everything this evening, I want to be sure to thank Suzanne and the media committee and everybody who helped to put together tonight's event. It's a lot of work. I want to thank Suzanne and everyone who helped out with this evening's event. In particular, though, I want to call out and really call attention to and give credit to members of our media committee. They put in so much work for us all year long. I mean, not just with tonight's event. Obviously, Suzanne's doing the Hemingway Review, editing that. And a lot of stuff you don't see, like running, our website, which is it's complicated. It's a lot of work, and I really, really appreciate it. Kurt Kernut does a fabulous job, of course, with the newsletter. Lisa Tyler with the blog. Sharon Hamilton's now helping out with the website. Michael Von Cannon, of course, is doing fabulous work with the podcast along with Mark Chirino. And then we've got our very own version of Jimmy the Bartender, our own resident bartender extraordinaire for this evening, Marcos Norris. And I want to thank him too. All right, time to hop on the sleigh and enjoy the fun. Here we go.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. My elves and I are about to make a peppermint bark martini for the Hemingway Society holiday party, and we would love for you to join us.
I'm one of Santa's elves, Dinky Doo. The first ingredient is vanilla vodka. As Hemingway says, always do sober what you promise to do drunk.
I'm one of Santa's elves, Penelope, and the second ingredient is peppermint schnapps. As Hemingway said, I drink to make people more interesting.
I'm one of Santa's elves, Larry. The final ingredients are creme de cacao, heavy whipping cream, chocolate syrup, and don't forget the candy canes. As Hemingway said, an intelligent man is sometimes forced to be drunk.
So for Dr. Hemingway's stuffing, the ingredients that you'll need are 1 loaf of semi-stale white bread, cubed, equal amounts of diced celery and diced onion. These are 2 sort of small onions and 3 stalks of celery. About a tablespoon of minced fresh sage, salt, pepper, a pound of bacon, cooked and crumbled, and reserve the bacon grease. The Sanford family's additional suggestions include mushrooms, pecans, and also some poultry broth to get the texture right.
Okay, first step, y'all, is you take your cocktail glass and you want to rim your glass first with chocolate syrup. So you got a nice chocolate rim there, and then dip it inside of your crushed candy cane. Shake it around, and you should get a very nice coated rim.
Christmas in Havana, Papa's grooving through the Guanabana Grove, in his mind singing salsa songs with a flow. Dancing divas as the tortoise crawls by the window with a porcelain doll, down to Coamar where sea foam falls like snow. Christmas in Havana, past the guava and the shredded sugar cane. Pick a flower from a jacaranda tree. Young boys swinging, laughing girls, tropic breezes blowing through their curls. Long ladies with their necklace pearls floating free. From San Francisco to Maria del Mar, follow footsteps of Gregorio. Raise the colors of the good pilar, and a fishing will go. Christmas in Havana, double daiquiris at the Floridita barn, plantains and tamales in Cubano style. Sun rising on a silver sea, past the secrets of infinity. Go to sleep beneath a coconut tree with a smile. San Francisco to Maria del Mar, revelations of Gregorio. Raise the colors of the good pilar, and a fishing will go. Christmas in Havana, double daiquiris at the Floridita barn, plantains and tamales in Cubano style. sun rising on a silver sea, parse the secrets of infinity, go to sleep beneath a coconut tree with a smile. Christmas in Havana, Papa's grooving through the guanabana grove.
So the mushrooms are pretty much as done as we want them at this stage. So what I'm going to do next requires the following steps executed in perfect order. Do not leave one out. The first thing you do is turn off the flame. You make sure there is no flame anywhere on your entire stove. Believe me, it's worth it. The second thing you do is you get the cats out of the way. Guys, this is the dangerous part, go away. So this is the secret ingredient. Yes, it is extremely good scotch, because if you're going to be adding flavor, you might as well be adding really good flavor. So you take the pan off the stove, add just a splash. Make sure you cork the bottle and get it out of the way. Turn the flame back on, tilt the pan, and that's how you do a flambe. Do not skip any of those steps. I will not be held responsible if you happen to take off your eyebrows. And when the flame is done, the alcohol has burned off and the mushrooms are ready.
All right, Hemingway scholars, now let's mix this drink. To start out, you gotta have a shaker just like this. First things first, get some ice to drop down into your shaker. And then up next, first ingredient, 2 ounces, so it's gonna be the larger end here, of vanilla vodka. Elf, thank you, and happy holidays. After vanilla vodka, you're going to want just 1 ounce, so flip it over there, of peppermint schnapps. Thank you again, Elf. Okay, after peppermint schnapps comes creme de cacao. And then our little elf friend is going to top us off with some heavy whipping cream. All of these, 1 ounce. Okay, once you're done, you can either take a stirring spoon like this, jab it in and stir it around, or you can shake it up.
Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. Hey.
Merry Christmas, Hemingway Society, and welcome to Piggott. This is the home of Paul and Mary Pfeiffer, who moved here in 1913 when Pauline had just graduated from high school in St. Louis. The house was here already. It was built in 1910 by Buck Templeton, who was a local master builder. So the Pfeiffers bought this from them and moved in 1913. Okay, so here we are in the living room of the house. You can see here the original Stickley furniture that the Pfeiffers purchased when they moved in 1913. They also made several changes to the house. They added this floor as well as the fireplace behind us there. And I want to show you something not really Christmas themed, but something brand new to us, which not many folks have seen yet. This music box belonged to Mary Pfeiffer. It's just donated back to us this year. It still works. You just pull up here. Pfeiffers moved into this house, they turned this room into a chapel. Mary was devoutly Catholic, and the nearest Catholic church at the time was about 30 minutes away, so they wanted somewhere closer. So they did put in a big altar in this space here where the table is now, but that altar is currently in use in a church in south central Arkansas. But the altar cloth here, the candlesticks in the middle, the crucifix in the middle are original to the chapel here. All right, we're now upstairs in the house. Got some interesting features here. The original chandelier over the stairs. The gate here was original to the house as well. The Templetons, when they lived here before the Pfeiffers, they had 23 children, and so they had need for the baby gate. The Pfeiffers, by the time they moved here, even the youngest Max was old enough to not need a baby gate, but they kept it nevertheless. Okay, now we're upstairs in the house in what was Pauline's bedroom. And this is the room that she and Ernest shared when they first started visiting here in Piggott. They would, once they converted the barn for Ernest, they actually stayed out there, and the kids stayed in here. But this was originally Pauline's bedroom. This is the original bed in here. You can see it's kind of small, but it is the original one. All right, well, we're about to go inside the studio. The family converted the barn into a studio for Ernest after A Farewell to Arms was successful. When Ernest worked on A Farewell to Arms here, it had just been like a storage room above the barn. You can see above me here some evidence of the fire that was caused here by an improperly vented stove. Ernest lost quite a bit of stuff in that, some clothes, some other things like that, but none of his manuscripts. Well, we're now up here in the barn studio. The area behind me up on the loft here would have been a bedroom when Ernest and Pauline were here. We've now got an exhibit about the 1933-34 safari up there. For the rest of the barn, some of the furniture is original, but we don't have any interior pictures of the barn to let us know quite how it was arranged. So it's a little bit of a guess there. We do have a timeline on the wall up here that outlines Ernest and Pauline's time here in Piggott during their marriage. Can't see that very well in the video, I'm sure, but all that information is available online if you would like to look at it more closely. And then I'd also like to point out the poker table over here in the corner. This was an original poker table that was up here. It did have the green felt on the table originally. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your tour of the Hemingway Pfeiffer Museum. Just a very brief tour. There's a lot more to see, so I hope you're able to join us here in person sometime soon. But until then, Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll see you soon.
So the instructions are just to combine the dry ingredients in a bowl. Now at this point you might think it's a little strange not to be sauteing the celery and onion. I thought it was strange because this is pretty close to my family's stuffing recipe, and we always saute the vegetables before mixing everything together. And I mentioned this to Susan Beagle, who reminded me that Hemingway's dad was a physician, and he believed at the time, based on the best medical research available to him, that cooking vegetables reduced the nutrients in the vegetables, and so he insisted that his children eat raw vegetables. So the closer to raw, he believed, the more nutrients and the better for his family. So we're going to be experimenting and not sauteing any of the vegetables, except of course for the mushrooms. This is a little bit more than a tablespoon of fresh sage, but I love the flavor, so why not? I'm including about, I don't know, teaspoon and a half of salt. You don't need a lot because the bacon has a ton of it. And so some good grounded black pepper. Probably needs more, but in the interest of the video. This is a full pound of bacon. And for the bacon, trying to imagine the ingredients that would have been available to the Hemingway family in the early 1900s, I chose to go with this thick sliced hardwood smoked bacon. It's Hormel Black Label, if you're curious. I'm sure the bacon that they used was cut even thicker and more like cubes than little crumbles, but we do what we have. Now to add the Sanford family's ingredients, some chopped pecans, and this is what started out as a pound of mushrooms sauteed in butter and flambéed in Balvenie Caribbean cask scotch. Sorry, Grace. Anyhow, once you have all of those in the bowl, that's when you start adding your wet ingredients. A half a cup of bacon grease is not going to be enough to bind this much bread. So I'm just going to cavalierly put the entire thing in with a nod toward the healthiness of the uncooked vegetables and a ton of bacon grease. And I suspect we're going to need a fair bit of broth as well. This is just a chicken broth, but of course you can go with turkey broth if you want. I suppose you could do vegetable broth, but going vegan with that much bacon doesn't make any sense to me. I can already tell we're going to need more broth. Like most recipes, you play with it. You know, does it look right? Did it result in the right texture that your family likes? Did it cook right? Did you like the flavors? Food is it's very much like a language. It evolves over time. Its usage changes within families and social groups. So, and also this is not baking, it's not chemistry. So changing your proportions isn't going to make a bit of a difference. With the celery and onions, I sort of had to guess because the original recipe calls for an onion, but it doesn't tell you how big. So I went for a 1-to-1 ratio between the celery and the onions, kind of based on what I remember my grandmother doing. She was from Ohio, which isn't exactly Oak Park, but it is the Midwest. And like Hemingway, she was born in 1899. So, you know, you kind of have to use all of the different constellations in the star to navigate your way toward a successful recipe. So once it's mixed, and it's okay if it looks a little bit dry still, the onions and the celery are going to release a lot of moisture when they cook. So taking it on faith that a little dry at this stage probably isn't a bad thing. If you want it to be moister, you cover it while you're cooking. Or if you like a little bit more crispy on top, you leave it uncovered. It goes in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. Here we go. And in about 40 minutes, we'll see how it turns out.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. page and stand by me, if thou know'st it, tell it. Yonder peasant, who is he, where and what his dwelling? Sire, he lives a good league hence, underneath the mountain, right against the forest fence, by St. Agnes fountain. Bring me flesh and bring me wine, bring me pine logs hither, thou and I shall see him dine when we bear them thither. Page and monarch, forth they went together, through the rude wind's wild lament, and the bitter weather. Sire, the night is darker now, and the wind blows stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how, I can go no longer. Mark my footsteps, good my page, tread thou in them boldly, thou shalt find the winter's rage freeze thy blood less coldly. In his master's step he trod, where the snow lay dented, heat was in the very sod which the saints had printed. Therefore Christian men be sure, wealth for rank possessing, ye who now will bless the poor, shall yourselves find blessing.
And this is what we have after 40 minutes at 350. It smells amazing. Cheers, Heidi. Cheers. Merry Christmas, Hemingway Society.
Next, you just pour and serve. There you go, Elf. We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday, and I leave you by raising a glass to the Hemingway Society.
As Hemingway always said,
Any man who eats dessert is not drinking enough.
Oh my goodness, what a ride! That was fun. Thanks everyone who contributed to the program today. That was just an amazingly good time, wrapping up the 5th annual party in style. But of course, we have one thing left to do, and that is a toast from Society President Carl Eby. Carl?
Thanks so much, Suzanne. Hey, and thanks everybody for being with us this evening. Matter of fact, that's really the place to start. So here's to being together tonight, and to our absent friends who aren't with us this evening. Here's also to seeing so many good friends this past summer in San Sebastian and in Bilbao, to being together in 2026 in Toronto, here, to what brings us together, Hemingway and his work. May the coming year for all of you be joyful and fulfilling and full of love. Happy holidays, joy to everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy holidays.